Welcome to Eureka Math. I'm Mr. Schenkel. Going to be helping you today with Algebra Module 1, Lesson 19. Let's get started. All right, we are working on solving for x, and I'm first going to work out this problem on the right side where we've got some numbers, see what we would do if we saw numbers there, and then we'll move to the left side and see what happens if we have some letters involved. So when I look at this equation on the right side, the first thing I see is I need to get all of the x's on one side of the equation. So I'm going to add 5x to both sides, and that's going to give me 8x plus 4 equals 6. And then I can see that, well, the next thing I would do to isolate the x would be to subtract 4. So if I do that, I get 8x equals 2, and then finally I could multiply by the reciprocal of 8 or just divide by 8. That's simple enough this time. So x equals 2/8, which is 1/4. And we've isolated the variable and it's told us what it's equal to. Well, on the left side where we've got just some variables involved, let's see what happens over here. Well, again, I want all of my x's to be in the same spot. So I'm going to add cx to both sides. And when I do that, I can't add ax and cx, but I can say that we need to add them. So that's what I'm going to do. Ax plus cx plus b is equal to d. And then I'm just going to, like I did before where I subtracted 4 from each side, I'm going to subtract b from each side. And we get ax plus cx is equal to d minus b. All right? And then, well, I would like to divide like I did here, but I can't do that until I factor this. I see that this term has an x and this term has an x. So I'm going to use the distributive property to factor out that common x. And that means that I have x times the quantity ax divided by x is a, and cx divided by x is c. And that's all equal to d minus b still. And then I'm in great shape because now I can just divide by the quantity a plus c. And that's going to give me what I want, which is x isolated, and it's equal to d minus b over a plus c. All right, so using the same techniques as if I had some numbers, isolate the variable. Here's another one. This should help on your homework as well. So let's look at the numbers first. I've got fractions here. I'd like to get rid of them, and the best way to do that is to multiply through by the least common multiple of 5, 7, and 1, which isn't going to change anything for us, but the least common multiple of 5 and 7 is 35. So I'm going to multiply everything through by 35 using the distributive property. So that's going to be 35 times 2 is 70x, plus 35 times x is 35x. By the way, this is 70x over 5 still. And then 35x over 7. And then 35 times 3 is 105. Okay, over 1, or just 105. All right, and now I can simplify. 70 divided by 5, that's 14x. And 35 divided by 7, that's 5x. And that's equal to 105. And then I can combine like terms, so that's 19x equals 105. And then divide by 19, so that gives us x equals 105/19. All right, so using the same technique, I'm going to attempt to isolate the x with all these variables. Well, the first thing I want to do is clear those fractions. So the least common multiple of b and d is b times d. So I'm going to multiply through using the distributive property by BD. And that's going to give me BD times AX over B, and then BD times CX over D, and that's going to be equal to BD times E. All right, and if we look at simplifying, I can see that this B and this B cancels out, so that just leaves me with DAX. I'm going to rearrange that order-wise so it's alphabetical. ADX, that's better. Plus, here I see the D's will cancel out, so that's CBX. And that's still equal to BDE. All right, and then, well, I see a common factor here in both of my terms. They both have a common x, so I'm going to factor that out using the distributive property. X is my common factor, and then I'm going to divide it out. ADX divided by x is just AD, plus CBX divided by x is just CB, and that's equal to BDE. And now here I find myself in great shape again. I can just divide by the quantity AD plus CB on both sides. AD plus CB. And when I do that, I get what I want. X equals BDE divided by the quantity AD plus CB. And that is the solution. All right, I hope that helps. That's lesson 19. See you next time.